So you're looking to find out a little bit more about how much exactly it costs to live here in San Antonio, Texas, huh? Well, stay tuned, and I got that coming up right here for you. Hey guys, this is Michael McCall, real estate agent here in San Antonio with JB Goodwin. So we're going to go over the cost of living today, and I got 7 very specific points for you guys. So I won't get into all of them, but just as an example, go over the comparisons of the index of what you would compare San Antonio's cost of living with the entire United States, as well as some of the other major cities here in Texas. We'll look at cost to rent here versus the United States, and also what it would cost to buy that same house. We'll look at grocery costs, taxes, income, economy, all those things. And at the very end, I'll kind of give you the rundown of the places to live and what the cost of living looks like at each of those locations. So, and guys, as always, don't forget, I absolutely love to hear from you guys, talk to you guys about coming here to San Antonio. I live for those phone calls that I get from y'all every single day about wanting to move here to San Antonio and asking me what it's like here to live in San Antonio. So guys, do not ever hesitate to call, text, or email. I love talking to you guys about anything and everything San Antonio. And as always, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell next to it so you get those notifications, and don't forget to like and comment. Let me know what you think. I live off that feedback. Alright, so the first point today is going to be the index comparison. If we're looking at the numbers, the United States as a whole on the average is going to be the 100, so everything is based off that 100. On that same average, on that same index scale, San Antonio is at an 89.7. Way lower, that's 10.3% lower than what the United States is. If you're looking at it compared to other cities in Texas, Austin is at a whopping 119.3. Houston is at a 96.5, and Dallas-Fort Worth area is at a 103.9. So as you can tell, San Antonio is significantly lower on the cost of living side than all the other major cities here in Texas. And then also much lower than just the average of the United States as a whole. Alright, so if you're looking at the average rents here in San Antonio, a 2-bedroom is going to run you about $1,096, a 3-bedroom $1,441, and a 4-bedroom $1,762. If you're looking at that comparison with a $1,762 a month payment for renting a 4-bedroom here in San Antonio, if you were to go about the averages, do a 10% down payment, do the average tax rate, those types of things, you could afford roughly a $242,000 house here in San Antonio, which, come to find out, is actually pretty high above the average for what's listed out there right now. The average of that is about $175,000. Now, I can tell you the median is going to be a little bit higher than that even so, but hey, a $242,000 house here in San Antonio for a 4-bedroom, that still gets you a pretty good house in a pretty good location. The third point is utilities. So again, the index is all compared to the United States at being a 100, okay? Utilities for San Antonio is at a 94.9 roughly. So below the average again, and not too high at all actually. So for me personally, I can tell you, just from my experience, I spend roughly $100 a month on my electric bill, and then anywhere between $100 and in the summer maybe a little bit higher than that if you're looking at your sprinkler system. But then if you add gas on top of that, because I have gas heating here at my house, you'd pay anywhere between $40-$50 roughly, give or take a couple dollars here and there depending on who your provider is. So if you're looking at roughly $250 a month, that's what I pay personally. Also on that, if you're going to eat out, again, just compared to my own personal experience, with me and my wife, if we go out to any little place here around, Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Chewy's, those are our 3 favorite places to go. We can estimate probably about a $40 payment between the 2 of us. So take that for what it's worth, but that's eating good. That's possibly getting some drinks here and there, getting an appetizer also. So consider that also. All right, so the commuting in San Antonio, which is the 5th point, is less than desirable, I can say, from my personal experience. Okay, there is constantly construction going on in San Antonio, but that means they're constantly trying to improve. If you look at it from the positive standpoint, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. But the scale for the index is 99.3 on the commuting and gas prices here in San Antonio. But if you're looking specifically at gas prices, right now, December 6, 2019. The lowest gas price you can get is at Sam's Club, and it's at $1.95, okay? The average for the United States right now is at $2.61. and that's per gallon. So you think about that. There's a couple places that you can get gas for lower than $2 a gallon right now, which is crazy. It's been going down for the last really recent future. Now, just on a commuting standpoint, you can really guess to be about, depending on where you're working at, compared to where you're living at, your commute is going to be a little bit longer. Anywhere between 25-30 minutes is really expected, even if you're fairly close to where your current job is. If you got to get on the highway, it's going to take a minute for you to get to the office, just because of the congested traffic and the growth that San Antonio is having. But you can get into a neighborhood that puts you really close and avoid the major highways, and that'll help a lot on your commute too. So there's ways to work around it whenever you go find that new place for you to live. All right, so the sixth point, and probably the most common discussion around people moving into Texas especially, is taxes. So as we all know, most people know, there's no income tax in Texas. Great, yay. However, we got property taxes. And that is also one of the most common complaints about it. It's a great thing that we don't have income tax, but we do have the dreaded property tax. So when you're going to buy a house, you're going to get taxed on your property. Now, if you're renting, you don't got to worry about that at all. You just get the benefit of no income tax. But however, your landlord's still going to pay the property tax. So in a roundabout way, you're still paying for it anyways, because you're putting money in your landlord's pocket. That's neither here nor there. That's for another video. But looking at property taxes. So roughly for the city of San Antonio, the tax alone just for the city of San Antonio is 0.55%. That's on the total value of the property, okay? So what that means is that is going to be added to the value, or that there's going to be a value calculated for that. That's going to be added to the overall property tax. Now, city of San Antonio is not the only entity that's going to administer a property tax, okay? You'll have property taxes for school districts that you're in. You'll have property taxes for the county. You'll have property taxes for Alamo colleges, for instance, if you live within the city. There's various other things that you're going to get taxed for if you live in certain neighborhoods, if you have a municipal utility district. If it's not city established utilities, you'll have a MUD tax. And that can sometimes be up there too. So if you're looking for a neighborhood, you really got to kind of keep an eye on those ones that do have a MUD tax, because you're going to be paying a significantly more amount for property taxes. But now, looking at the overall property taxes, just based off one source that I found, it's about 2.3%, okay? That's on the overall value of the property that you're in. That's in the city of San Antonio. However, if you get outside the city limits where you don't have city tax, that takes off that 0.55%. So it brings it down significantly. And then on top of that, it is not quite as bad as it sounds, guys, because there are exemptions for just about everybody out there on your home, your personal residence that you are living at, okay? There's a homestead exemption, which everybody should apply for if you're eligible. And then there's also several other exemptions. For instance, there's a 65 and older exemption. There is a disabled vets exemption. There's just a regular disability exemption. There's also, if you live out in the county, if you have some land, there's ag exemptions and wildlife exemptions. There's also exemptions if you have solar panels or wind turbine at your house that's providing a renewable energy source. So, and those all vary depending on location. So go check those out. Make sure that you do have the availability for all those exemptions at wherever you buy your house. All right, so the seventh and final point, which is going to kind of go over the entire economy roughly, the employer's income, all that kind of stuff. So the main industries here in San Antonio are first and foremost the military, okay? This is Military City, USA. The next industry would be retail. Third is going to be medical. There's a huge medical center over on the northwest side of town. There's also a big one up in the Stone Oak area, the north side of town. A lot of big hospitals, and this is a very central location for Central Texas. So there's a lot of people come to San Antonio for treatments. There's a huge cancer center, children's hospital, those types of things. So it's the medical research here in San Antonio is very big. And then the other one, school districts. School districts have a huge presence here in San Antonio, and people are very proud of the schools. So just looking at the overall employers, the top employers here in town, you have Joint Base San Antonio, which includes the three main military bases, which is Lackland Air Force Base, Fort Sam Houston, and Randolph Air Force Base. And then second is USAA. USA has about 15,000. I didn't mention it, but Joint Base San Antonio has 80,000 employees here in San Antonio. So that's why the military said USA. Get back to it. USAA has 15,000. The next is going to be HEB, almost 15,000, about 14,000 there. And then you start getting into the school districts. And then you also have a big employer, but not quite as big as some of those other ones. Valero is really big. Then you also have Rackspace, and then just recently Microsoft moved into town. So we have a big Microsoft presence that's getting ready to grow here in San Antonio as well. Looking at overall projected growth, so last year alone, there was a job growth of 1.6% in San Antonio, which was actually higher than the national average. And then a projected growth over the next 10 years of 39.6% job growth here in San Antonio. That's huge, guys. And then compared to the United States of just 33.5%. So you can see that it's going to be a big benefit long term to be in San Antonio. All right, so the last thing I want to do is go over this map overview for you guys. So I'm kind of show you where the cost of living is in certain areas of the city. So we'll jump over to the computer right now. If we're looking at San Antonio as a whole, you can see this lighter purple here is going to be just the city itself, and that's kind of where your 89.7 point falls into. You can also see these little areas that are darker, kind of within the city, and as you can see, that's going to be a lot higher cost of living. So what you get here is this is the Alamo Heights area, very expensive place to live there. This is Castle Hills, and this is Chavano Park. This is Hollywood Park. So all four of those places are really desirable places to live. Very established, very historical homes too. You'll find a lot of people that have lived there for a long time, and that's for good reason. Leon Valley right here, it's actually a lower cost of living here, but still not a bad place. And then if you look up at the north side of town, you'll find the darker red also. So this is the I-10 corridor here. This goes up to Bernie. Fair Oaks Ranch is actually one of the highest cost of livings in the country. And this area right here on the I-10 corridor is also pretty expensive to live, but it's a very desirable area for good reason. Same goes for Helotes down here, and then whenever you're looking at Timberwood Park, Stone Oak area, that's what this is. That's what you'll see in this area. That's a extremely high cost of living, but again, very desirable to be there. Same goes for Bulverde. Bulverde's a little bit farther out of town, kind of similar to Bernie. Bulverde's a little less established than Bernie is, but it is a great place to live. It's kind of got the small town feel, but still within commuting distance to San Antonio for a lot of people. So you'll see a lot of people that are moving out to Bulverde, especially recently. There's been a lot of development out there. Another good place is New Braunfels over here on this side. It's a smaller town, roughly 50 to 60,000 people live there right now. But again, very desirable. This is the I-35 corridor. This place is exploding. All the way from Garter Ridge to New Braunfels, even past New Braunfels to the San Marcos area, you're going to find a lot of new developments. All right, guys, so that was kind of the rundown of the cost of living here in San Antonio. Hope that was a little bit of good information for you guys. Comment down below what you thought. Hit like if you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate that. And also subscribe and hit that little bell so you get notified whenever I put up another video. Guys, I'm going to be doing this every week, so I would really appreciate it. Also, guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know. I love helping you guys. I love talking to you guys every single day about moving here to San Antonio. So if you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact is below this video. I will see y'all next time.